So somebody requested that I react to Richmond, north of Richmond. I guess for some reason I missed this one by Oliver Anthony. I think the reason why I missed it is because it's so short. It's so short. I didn't think it was the whole song, and apparently it is. It's only like a minute and a half or so. It's a really short song. I could not find a longer recording of it. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. I don't know, but I couldn't find a longer video of it on YouTube. So, but let's go ahead and listen to it. Oliver Anthony, interesting guy here. He's going the route like so many artists are these days. No more signing with a record label. They create their own social media sites. They control them. They earn directly from them, and they call it good, and that's fine. That is good. Cutting out the middleman, as it were. So, there's so many examples of that through history. The horse comes to mind. Back in the day, it used to be everybody owned horses, so you had a little place to keep your horse, and you kept feeding hay and a farrier on call to maintain its feet and vet care, and you had wagons and surreys and buckboards and all these little things that the horse could pull. Farmers had all the farm implements that were geared for horses, and then along came the engine and the automobile and an entire. I mean, it wasn't just that we stopped using horses and we went to automobiles, but the entire horse industry disappeared. All of the farmers producing the hay and grain for the horses didn't be needed anymore. Buildings throughout the cities and stuff didn't need to be housing for horses anymore. Farriers by the thousands had no occupation anymore. The street cleaners didn't have to clean up the horse poop because there wasn't any horses anymore. An entire industry of having and maintaining the horses all disappeared. And I think in some ways what we see happening now with social media and creators is we're cutting out the middleman. I have here basically a television channel, and we're really have cut out all the middlemen. I don't have to work through a network. I don't have to hire anybody to do this. Like Tom McDonald said, I own the cameras and I own the computer for the editing, and I own it all myself. You can't cancel me. Only I can cancel me. So anyhow, with that said, let's listen to a very apparently short rendition of Richmond north of Richmond. Here we go.
Men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
Well, he's beloved.
Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Lord, it is living in the new world with an old soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, cause your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Well, there you have it. Richmond, north of Richmond. But I want to go ahead and add something else into this while I'm doing this reaction. I want to hear another cover of this. And this particular cover is by Dax. And I wanted to put them together because they're so short. Okay. First, let's deal with Oliver Anthony. This guy is so far outside of the normal channels for stuff, as I think we all should be, really. Rejecting, this is the way things were always. Man, it used to get me so angry. I was a volunteer firefighter out in Montana, and 12 years, volunteer firefighter. I also volunteered to be an EMT, drove the ambulance. I served as secretary of the board for the fire department, Paradise Valley Fire Service there in Immigrant, Montana. And we had these people in the fire department, these old Norwegian people. Oh, this is the way we've done it for 50 years. And they just wouldn't see the future for what it could be, just only what was. And it was just so frustrating. So it's fun to see people like Oliver Anthony, kick down those doors, break out of that mold, and reject that, adage, well, this is just the way it's done. Well, nonsense. There can be a better way. And I think we're on to that with the way social media is and things are growing. So, but in any event, I think Oliver Anthony's doing a great job. He's got a very unique singing style. In this particular song, he seems to be, bitter, but deservedly so, right? So, all right, let's listen to Dax sing Oliver Anthony's Rich Man and see how different that is. It's longer, I'll tell you that much. Here we go. United we stand, divided we fall. True dat.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. The rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
This world has changed and I had to accept it. They ask my political views while I search for their hidden agendas. I don't got an answer, I try to remember the devil divides. Pressure appears from our peers. Those arguments waste our time while helping to push their lies, so fuck political views. I got common sense. I know God made man, and the sun sets on a life where we focus on things that we cannot control and accumulate so much regret. By the time we decide to live, we're practically already dead. So I go to sleep with the thoughts of 45 years living in debt, 45 years can't pay rent, 45 years just for a pension I'm too old to enjoy and go spend, 45 years working and slaving for rich men with no time for my family and friends. Then I wake up and pray that it ends.
Living in the new world with an whole soul. The rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Descendants of Adam and Eve, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They're taking God out the schools. Our kids don't know what to believe. From 6 to 18, the curriculum fails and Gen Z gets taught by their phones with forced feeds that get sponsored and paid by companies. That's how they attack us, it starts with the youth. If you lie enough, you'll convince anybody the lie's the truth. So telling these kids they can choose their own gender at ages they can't even tie their own shoes. Drive or drink is crazy, common sense isn't common unless it pays me. That's the thought process daily, look at the content. We're creating lies, diluting our brains. I'm done trying to argue online with these people who think that a vote's gonna bring about change. How many presidents does it take to have a life worth living? An actual comfortable wage. No more school shootings. Let's unite these states.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Yeah, boy. Gotta love that. Okay. In this case, Dax has added to so much to Oliver Anthony's song. For one thing, incorporating the song the way he did, we get better clarity as to the message from Oliver Anthony and what he's saying. And then hearing Dax react to that in agreement is kind of refreshing. Here's a white guy, here's a black guy. That had nothing to do with it. Race had nothing to do with it. This is transcends that. This is bigger, more important, and I'm so glad to see that race doesn't have to be an issue in every single thing. I mean, you can't do anything today in the world without somebody calling you a racist for it. Okay, with that said, Dax, phenomenal job doing this. Loved his attitude, loved his approach to it. I have a little trouble understanding his words, so I'm glad to see that the closed captioning was working there, so I could kind of read along with it. I agree with the sentiment completely from both of these artists. You get these idiots in government that think they have to control everything, and the more they're in control, the less the quality of life is for the rest of us. This is obvious by looking at any of these Democratic run cities. They're slums. They're just slums. And you get a situation like happening right now where Trump's talking about incarcerating mentally ill people. Well, back in the day, I'm 67 years old here in about 2 weeks. They used to have housing for the mentally ill. They provided them with heat and air conditioning and a roof over their head and meals on a regular basis, proper medications, proper treatment. It was a good thing. Now, were they held there captive? Yeah, but as much for their protection as ours. And I don't, for the life of me, wonder why. I can't understand why the liberals are against that. They would much rather see them peeing and pooping out on the street and doing illicit drugs and causing trouble and getting killed than having the humanity to protect these people and give them some quality of life, some respect. Whew. Yeah. Richmond, north of Richmond, they think they know best. All they know how to do is feather their own nest. Maybe I should write some songs. All right, friends. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Be good and be careful. Take good care of one another. Give us a thumbs up. Check out my Patreon should you be inclined to do that. I need all of the help I can get in that regard. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. That's the main thing.